Coming to you live from the On Air Media Studios here in Dallas, Texas. Welcome to Sound Bites with Susan and Waylon, where we take a short extraction of our daily lives as publicists to share with you all. My name is Waylon Tate with J. Waylon and Associates.
And my name is Susan Friedman of Friedman Marketing and Public Relations.
Public Relations, we got it right this time.
That's a long name.
It's Monday, Susan. It's another Monday. And let me tell you before we start off, the best way I get to start out my Monday was meeting our third castmate, Shaggy.
Yes, our mascot.
At Starbucks this morning. So we ran into each other. Funny enough, we live, as you guys know, we've talked about it before, we live within, 5 or 6 or 8 blocks, I don't know. But we're in the same neighborhood, and so we go to the same Starbucks, and we happened to run into each other, so I got to meet him for the first time. He's so cute.
Big dog.
Huge, you took up your whole car.
He's like a mini horse, part St. Bernard, part English sheepdog.
Just adorable.
Yes. And I need to bring in some photos. It's so funny, there's a joke. So when we first got him, he had long hair, looked like a traditional sheepdog.
Yeah.
And then we got a summer cut for him.
Okay.
And I joke because I'm like, we took him into the salon and he was an English sheepdog, and we took him out and now he's a French poodle. He has a French poodle cut and he's really, it's very short.
It is.
Funny.
Is he, can you tell he's happier? He's got to be cooler.
Yeah,
surely.
It's good. It's a summer cut.
Yeah,
so,
he is so adorable, you guys, and super friendly.
Yeah.
He can be intimidating because he is so big.
He is a big dog.
But he let me pet him,
sweet.
and so that was a great way to start off my Monday.
By the way, what do you get at Starbucks?
Honestly, I'm so boring. I get a venti blonde roast. That's all I get every single day, and they know it. Like, it's normally
every day.
Every single day. I have the app, and it's like, yeah, I order it and go pick it up every day.
App.
I do too. What do you get?
Today I got a venti mocha. Sometimes I get a chai tea.
You can afford to have venti mocha, Susan, because you weigh 101 pounds.
I don't go every day though. I go on special occasions.
You do? Mm-hmm. But you make coffee at home, because when we've done working meetings, you've made
I love coffee at home.
Amazing coffee. And oh my God, what is it that you made us last time? Oh, quiche. You made an amazing quiche the last time that we had dinner. Or that we had breakfast. Monkey bread too, that's as well. You and that damn monkey bread, Susan, my God. No, Jeffrey did tell me. So if you'll remember a couple of episodes ago, we had Jeffrey Collinger, who's one of my clients. He owns Spice of Life Catering and also Tillman's Roadhouse. Tillman's used to make a monkey bread that Susan's in love with, and he promised me
to make it at home.
Well, and he promised me that he would make you a special monkey bread, just for you, from Tillman's. Now, that's some true PR moves when you can get a chef to make one person one item. So we'll have to go. We'll make a day of it, and we'll share with you all. It was really fun. So
eating monkey bread.
Yeah, but we have. Oh my God, this week is just crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are probably not working. I'm not working. I've basically taken off the whole entire week. But there's a lot to do.
There is a lot to do. Yeah, and it's 4th of July.
That's right.
On Wednesday, what
happy
are you
birthday,
going
America.
To be doing?
Probably drinking.
Good
just
for
to be perfectly
you.
honest with you.
Are you going to a pool or barbecue?
My friend Michael's coming in from Austin, so I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll go to the casino. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll do a staycation and go to the W. Or the Stoneleigh.
Or something. Yes, the Stoneleigh
Hotel.
Hotel.
Stoneleigh. Susan can get us a beautiful rate, I'm sure.
I think they do have some 4th of July rates actually going on. But let's talk about the 4th of July in general.
Yes.
As you know, we celebrate because it's the signing of the independence from British rule, and 13 colonies signed. And I think that, have you ever read the Declaration of Independence?
Susan, I teach federal government.
Okay,
yes,
you've read it
course.
every year, right?
I read it every semester.
It sounds so badly. I don't think I've ever read the full Declaration of Independence.
No?
So that is my goal on the 4th of July. I'm taking the day off, and I think I'm going to read the Declaration of Independence. But I went ahead and put the most do you know which sentence is the most notable line in the Declaration of Independence?
No,
it's the
they're all
second
notable.
one.
Okay.
And everyone's going to know this, I'm
Yes.
sure. We hold the truths, and I think we have a picture of it.
Okay.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's true.
And I just wanted to make sure that everyone who's watching reads that, because I think it's just a beautiful sentence. It's the second sentence in the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we talk about this with my students, they're college students, obviously, and I try to get them to understand what an inalienable right is, right? And it means by the very endowment of being a citizen, these can never be taken away from you, ever. And it's really a profound moment because I think that
in your class.
you should come. It's called auditing. You should come audit my class.
I would love to.
Oh, I would love for you to be there, and
It's Mondays before this, right?
It's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
PM, right? But it's so much fun. But thank you for sharing that because I don't think I'm not going to go into too much of the political stuff, but I think it's important, maybe never more so in the climate that we're experiencing together, all as Americans. I say this not with partisanship, that we remind ourselves that the third word in that is truth, and we need to be very careful to not linger from what is true, right?
Yeah.
So I'll leave it
Good
at that.
point.
So anyway, thank you for sharing that with us.
And now let's talk about fun stuff.
Yes.
Like the 4th of July.
Booze and food.
So I didn't realize there are like over 30 fireworks displays in the Metroplex alone celebrating the 4th of July.
What?
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. I didn't even think you could shoot fireworks in this city. Can you?
Well, so this is in the Metroplex,
So
and
we gotta get outside of our bubble.
You
You know,
gotta
I'm
get
always-
outside. Big train of thought there. So, yes. So we know about the major ones: Kaboom Town in Addison.
Yep.
Fort Worth has an amazing one. Dallas has an amazing one. But I wanted to talk about some of the ones that you may not know about.
Okay, I'm eager.
Okay.
Let's see it.
So these are the top 5 that I wanted to mention. Number 1 is in Arlington.
Okay.
And they're going to have a children's zone, fireworks display, and it's going to be to country music, which is kind of cool. 95.9 FM, The Ranch is going to be out there.
Okay.
And it's free. And one of the things that I didn't know is Arlington's 4th of July parade is one of North Texas' oldest.
Oh, okay.
And it dates back to 1965, and over 75,000 people are expected.
That's-
75,000.
That's almost as big as like Pride or the block party at Halloween.
They
I
say
mean,
that
those are
people camp
huge.
out to get a good place in line. Yes.
Just for the parade? I've never been.
I never knew this.
Have you
right?
ever been?
No.
No.
No. So
I'm
anyway,
missing out.
so that's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is in Bedford. And they're going to have a fireworks display. And mind you, I'm going to point out whether these are on Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't mention
Okay.
any that happened on Sunday night.
Okay.
So this one is actually on Wednesday, and they have a children's activity area. I'm mentioning this because they have a classic car show, and we have kind of a theme of cars coming
sure
up.
do.
So they have a classic car show, which I think is great, and a salute to soldiers at Bedford Boys Ranch. So that's number 2.
I love that.
Number 3, Farmers Branch.
This one
is
I've
very
heard of.
cool.
Yeah, I've heard
You've
of.
heard of this. So they're hosting a low-level fireworks show, which I've never heard of. I'm like, low-level, does that mean it sucks? Like, what does that mean? But it means that it's on ground level.
Okay.
And so you're going to see things like candles, comets, mines. I don't know what some of that stuff means. Do you?
I have no clue.
So we don't
bad.
know our pyrotech.
We don't.
What is pyrotechnic?
Something, I don't know. Clearly it is a Monday morning. The
Yes.
things that go boom.
But they're going to have all different kinds of things. They have a high-energy dance band, kids zone, and it's free to residents, $5 to non-residents.
They're literally going to check your ID? Like, how are they going to know whether you're a resident or not?
I don't know. That's a good question. But this is actually the only low-level fireworks display in the entire state of Texas.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
It
So
is.
good for you, Farmers Branch. I think it's
Yay.
really interesting. The next one, have you ever heard of Little Elm Park?
No, I
It
have
has
not.
the largest beach in North Texas.
Beach?
And you can yes! You can play sand volleyball, you can go kayaking, wakeboarding, all that kind of stuff.
Where have we
So it's actually, I think, on Lake Louisville.
Okay.
That's why you probably never heard of
Yeah.
it. But it's a lakefront celebration of the 4th of July, which I think is just, that's a little bit different than, watching it at
That's
Fair
right.
Park or where have you. And they're going to have a retro hits party band called Time Machine, which I saw they were actually playing at another festival too.
Okay.
And they're going to have another alt country station there, 95.3 The Range once again. And again, like I said, you can play sand volleyball, wakeboarding, stand-up paddleboarding, all that kind of stuff.
That sounds like a really good time, and
Right.
it's like a kind of a retreat away from our norm.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's always concrete, like for
Yeah.
me, because I never go anywhere.
I always go to Mexico if
so,
I want
yeah.
sand.
Yeah, I
so
love
I don't know.
Mexico.
Parking's a little bit expensive, $25 to $35.
What?
Yeah.
Is it a free festival though?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that kind of balances out. You just take 30 people in your car.
Yeah, and a lot of people go camping, actually. They just put tents out.
No, it's not gonna happen.
He goes glamping, not
Yeah,
camping.
that's, if even that, right? The Ritz is about it for me.
Okay.
Just
Next
call me
one.
bougie. Okay, yeah.
Waxahachie.
Oh, I've been to Waxahachie, and I have to say, I really love Waxahachie.
I do too.
It reminds me of back
It's
home.
Beautiful. Did you live in a Victorian home?
No.
Gingerbread house?
No.
Oh.
I lived in a lot of acres, though, that were, very kind of open. And I was talking with my mom actually this morning about this, that it's so amazing when you grow up in that space because you see the stars like you don't see the stars in the city. When you live in a very open area, everything's just more bright and clear. But so Waxahachie gives you a little piece of that because it's like time slows down.
Charming.
It is very
It's a charming town. Downtown it's how you would imagine like a quaint square. They have an actual square,
sure
like
do.
Main Street and all that kind of stuff with some cute like red brick buildings.
It's a
and
great
stuff.
city.
It's cute. So they're having a flower 4th of July, and I'm like, what is a flower 4th of July? First we have these low flying fireworks, and then now we have a flower festival. This is what I learned about Waxahachie.
Okay.
They are the capital of the crepe myrtle in Texas. No, I said that incorrectly. They're the Texas state legislature designated Waxahachie as the crepe myrtle capital.
Crepe myrtle capital.
Yes,
Okay, those are
because
beautiful.
they have so many flowers.
Well, that is
so
so
you can go look at the beautiful Victorian homes that they're so well known for, and go to their little main street downtown and see all the streets are lined with crepe myrtles.
But they're not going to shoot fireworks?
They are going to have fireworks, and they're going to have a patriotic parade and all that good stuff as well. So DJ, live music, and Memphis Soul is going to be performing. Food trucks, tailgating, and children's play area. They have it all, including flowers.
That is awesome.
Okay, this is an honorable mention.
Okay.
You're going to laugh why I put it. And it's, am I pronouncing this correctly? It's Saxy?
Saxy.
Saxy. So they're going to have an old-fashioned 4th of July and a parade and all that good stuff. Lots of games. And one of the prizes is Whataburger for a year.
What?
Yes.
Sign me up.
Yeah, so it got my honorable mention in the top 5 things you probably don't know about for 4th of July.
Susan, where do you even find this stuff? This is truly like another
know.
element of being a publicist is you can dig and find the craziest things if you need to.
Isn't that fun?
No, I do. I think it's like, so we've got wakeboarding to Whataburger for life. And then
For a year.
actually, Susan, they do something. It's not really a festival of sorts, but because we do live in Uptown / Highland Park, Turtle Creek always does.
Yes.
When I used to live at the Illume, my balcony faced that direction, and so it is gorgeous. Like they shoot fireworks out of.
So who does that?
I have no clue. I would just always
Because I
appreciate
never see
it,
it
but
promoted.
it's never because you
actually,
can't
and
go.
I just
It's
hear
not,
it, so I'm like, are those just people doing fireworks?
No,
or what?
I'm
Because it's
sure
more of a
it's-
display.
Well, the land is owned by the city. I'm fairly sure, so it's got to be.
But they would promote that.
But I don't think it's I don't think you can actually go onto the lawns and watch them do it. I think they just do it just to do it. So anybody that lives in kind of Uptown can see these beautiful, I don't know, well, we can find out. But
Those in the know probably know about it. Maybe we just aren't in the
we
know
are
when
in
it
the
comes
know,
to fireworks.
Susan.
Now we're in the know for sure, because I know
gonna
about
be a
these
busy-
random 5 cities that are doing some amazing things. So.
Well, good. So we hope that gives you guys some clarity as to what you should plan for this 4th of July. And after this break from our sponsor, Kruto Vodka, we will bring back and we'll talk about all things cars. I can't wait because it's kind of like my secret pleasure. I love really nice cars. Yeah. So Benny Black will join us right after this short break.
Welcome back to Sound Bites with Susan and Waylon, and today's special guest is Benny Black of Platinum Motorcars. I think most people actually know him.
Yeah.
He is such a presence in every room that you go to.
That's right.
And thank you so much for being on our show, Benny.
Thank you for having me. It's fun. This is a cool experience to come up to a podcast. First one. Second one.
Whoa.
Second podcast.
We'll take that lovely first
Did you
alternate
have a green
position.
screen?
Did not
everyone?
have
Did you-
the
was
green
it-
screen.
was it
That's
on
why I'm
video?
wondering how we're going to be able to show what we got going in the back.
And were you lit by all of these
No,
beautiful
the lighting
lights?
is what because I'm not going to lie to you. Y'all have
1, 2,
great
3,
lighting.
4, 5. We have 6
I mean-
lights
No dime
here.
is spared here at
Yes.
On Air Media.
Yeah,
for
y'all
sure.
are real, making my skin look 12. I'm loving it.
We have
Yeah.
6 lights and 3 cameras in front of us. It's
That's
a little
right.
bit intimidating.
It is a little
actually.
daunting because you kind of go blind, right? So we focus on the screen that we see ourselves
you don't
on.
have the whole blended in. It's going to show. I see that now.
Well, yeah.
Let's start talking about Platinum Motorcars. And for those who aren't familiar with it, what is Platinum Motorcars?
I founded Platinum Motorcars back in '06, and we rent luxury and exotic cars, and now we also do sales and leasing. But our model was mainly on rental because we always wanted to give people the chance, as my motto was always get a chance to experience something that you never get to before.
I love that.
That makes it easier for people to do because the first thing that people ask is, well, why would you want to pay to drive it? You got to drive it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the
That's right.
experience of being in a $250,000 car and watching how everybody else around you responds.
I was going to say, why don't you tell our viewers some of the cars that you have?
So you can rent daily from me, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Maserati, American-made Corvettes. We also have McLaren coming down the pipeline. So just about anything that you can think of that you'd like to pay to drive, we've got it.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, we got coming
Done.
up the way in the Vanquish, so you'll love
But
that
you
new model.
have some practical, and I'm calling them practical cars like SUVs and
Yes.
stuff, which you found have been proven popular sometimes during like NFLs and during cold weather if there's snow on the ground. Those few days, but what
Exactly.
have you? Yeah.
Yes. Well, one of the things that we wanted to do as a company is I have my specific demographic that I like to market to, and we want to be able to serve pretty much that complete demo because everybody always wants to drive the two-seated sports car. Of course, that's the excitement. But then you have families that come in that need Range Rover or they need a large end, the Escalade ESV.
Sure.
And right now, even the G-Wagon, which is one of the most popular SUVs, that's kind of a fashion thing to kind of move around in that. So we try to give a little bit of variation, but we always stick with the luxury end or the high-end brand of each model.
What is your most requested car?
Most requested right now is Lamborghini Huracan.
What
That-
color is
Well, I've got 2 beauties, one in black and one in orange. And if Susan remembers back when Susan was my Jerry Maguire for the company, orange was one of my more popular colors back then.
Oh, wow, that is so
Yes,
pretty.
that's the one.
How
right
much
there.
would that cost retail?
Retail on that one, because that's a newer model, you're going to be about $240, $250, right around in there.
Let's just get one each, Susan.
There we go.
You're good. You're good from there. But we rent for a fraction of that. We rent for $1,500 a day.
Okay.
Some people are like, whoa, whoa. But then I always ask the question, what did you expect to pay for a $250,000 car?
Right.
Yeah.
The main thing people don't realize when they're and the internet's allowed this, everybody thinks they want to be an exotic car professional and tell you how to do this and how
Sure.
to get into the business of it. But what people don't realize, there's a science to it because there's been many failures where people just think if you buy the nice cars and just rent them out, there you go, that's the flow. But what most people that get in the business don't understand is you have to know who you're in demo because yeah, you might rent that car 3 or 4 times, right when you get it, then it dies. Well, now you've got to carry that car with the payment, the insurance, and the carry costs. That's what a lot of people don't take in advance when they're trying to get into this types of business.
I cannot imagine. And I would assume, and maybe this is true, do you have, as publicists, we're storytellers, right? So we tell our clients stories, and a lot of times that involves, at least with me, we do a lot of video and commercial type of stuff, right? Have you had companies that have hired or have rented your cars to use just for advertorial or kind of advertising purposes to shoot commercials?
Yes.
And
It's funny what you were saying with public relations, because that's what got my star to start shining bright. Was when I heard my first PR person, which would be Friedman PR.
shout out.
Just quick shout out on the back
He's my
end.
publicist.
Yeah, she was my Jerry Maguire when I first went in for PR. But what was cool, what Susan did, And a lot of small business owners, you've got to look at this. We think we have the best story because we think our business is the best. But Susan helped me realize that even though you may have a great story, it's all in how you tell it.
That's right.
And if you're not telling the latest news, nobody's really hearing it. And when I had Susan working with me, that's what made me realize, okay, if you're a small business owner, you think you can carry every hat, PR is not one that we can carry.
It's, we have this, I always say we, but I think, you know, PR in general, we go through, you know, times where we're talking with our clients and the expectations are very, very high.
Yes.
As they should be, right? They're paying good money for our services. But the difference, I think, between Susan and I, and this is why we work really, really well when we do campaigns together, is because I'm like, shoot for the stars, right? And I'm like, yes, of course we can, you know, and Susan's like, it's never gonna happen. You need to come down off of the, off the mountain. Okay, she's like, no one will be interested in that. And I think that we balance very well because she is, before I got into PR, Susan was kind of like my, you know, inspiration because she's very, very good at what she does.
Yes.
And she knows the game, and she knows it very well. And a lot of that probably comes from her, having worked in the #1 media, you know, center in the world, New York. And I think that, anyways, so not to detract, but she really provides me a lot of feedback when I'm doing stuff because she's like, no, it's really never gonna happen.
And you gotta have that with your PR.
I'm bad cop.
Definitely good cop, bad cop. Yeah. So what has been your feedback from the people that have, like, I'm interested to know if they kind of ever tell you like how exhilarating it was after the fact, and they're like, you have no idea, it was very much worth the $1,500.
You know, I always get great stories because I always ask, so tell me the experience. Because when you come to my place, you rent the car and you're like, okay, here we are. And I always explain to people, okay, I'll walk you through the car, make sure there's no damages on the car. Then I'll show you everything on how the car works.
Right.
And then I'll always tell the same story. Everybody starts out like this, you're a little nervous, and then, you know, we do a drive around so you understand the vehicle. Within 10 minutes, you start here, then you're here, and then you're there. By about 10 miles into the ride, that's how comfortable clients start to feel with it. But what I always try to get them to realize is, it's not you that you got to worry about, it's the people around you.
That's right.
Because I quickly tell people, now that you're in a car that everybody either dreams about or always seen or read about, never seen one, cameras come right by you while they're driving down the freeway. You get bombarded at gas stations because every little kid comes out and wants to see whose car that is. But the funnest part is valet. Dallas is the most popular place in the world for valet. And if you can valet a car like that, and there's a patio near it, our saying, me and my boy Jackson, all eyes on me. Because when you pull up, every head turns, and it's all about how you own it when you walk away from the car.
It must be a really glorious experience, to be honest with you. And like, I'm obviously interested in the mechanics because I'm an entrepreneur and a business person. I'm thinking, I would want to vet these people. I would want to do a crazy background check to make sure they're not, you know, I'm sure the insurance is just
that's the key.
Insane. Yes. So does your heart ever like skip a beat every time they drive off the lot?
No. One thing about my business that makes it easy, and that's just being able to learn it long enough, is the questions you ask when you verify their insurance. Okay. Their insurance will make you quickly go, okay, I'm good. Because they'll either give you a response, oh yeah, we've got it. Plenty of coverage, we have no worry about that. Or, and I've had this happen, the insurance says, no, can you put them on the phone? Yeah, if you get put on the phone, you're being chastised by your insurance company. And you kind of knew that going in. And that's the sad part with my business is people think you can just pop on in and just run off in a Ferrari Lamborghini. It's not the same thing. You're not renting a Toyota Camry or, you know, of-like
No
kind.
judgment.
Yeah, no judgment here. But it's a little bit more of a, what people don't understand is the risk exposure to these.
Absolutely.
Questions are coming out now, well, if I can't afford it for the day, can I rent it hourly? Well, even on an hourly, people don't understand, as soon as you pull out of my driveway, if somebody hits that car, the damage is starting at $100,000 and goes up from there. So it's your risk that you have to protect and not just chase the dollar.
Oh, that it literally like makes my stomach turn, that amount of money. But so have you progressed since 2006, right? Is when you started it. So you're 12 years into the game. So your fleet has obviously gotten bigger.
Yes, sir.
So I'm assuming that you have, like, you've been through this. So you're probably at the point where you're kind of stepping back, and you said you're just moving into lease and sales, which is probably a whole different ballgame.
Whole different ballgame. Basically what we're doing, we're looking at adding different streams of revenue. Because once you get into a maintenance mode and you think you've got your brand, pretty much settled into the market, now it's really just about capturing the market share is what we're working on this year. So we're looking at all different kind of ways to where if you're coming in to experience it for the day, well, I'm that company that you don't have to make that immediate commitment to. So mine's an easier access. So now we're looking at different efficiency as far as systems go, where we're putting vehicles out in different places to where you can rent our new one is Exotic Cars on Demand. So if you see one of my cars parked somewhere with a sticker on it, you can walk up to the iPad and rent that car right there from the iPad.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
I didn't know that.
We're
Very
trying to do something,
cool.
and we're putting it in just different luxury areas to where if you're just that person, just flew in and you want to drive that Ferrari for the day, if everything's good on your end and we check off everything on the iPad, insurance is good, they'll take the iPad off and drive right off in the car.
Right. So, and he delivers. So let's say he'll deliver out of state as well, but I've seen him deliver to hotels and so forth, so that you don't have to go to Platinum Motorcars.
They come to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Part of the service. It's all about service. So
I love
it's-
that.
Yeah.
That my thought was always like this: if you're renting an exotic car, when that car shows up, it should be presented as if you just bought that exotic car. So ours shows up on a flatbed. It's never driven by somebody because, in my opinion, you're again exposing that to the risk of somebody hitting that vehicle just in delivery.
Right.
So we try to averse ourselves of any exposure for liability to just flatbed it on over. That way, when the car shows up, it smells like a new car.
That is so insane. Have you had celebrities a lot come into Dallas?
Yes.
I'm assuming. So you don't have to tell us who any of them are, but have you gotten to rent to some bigger names?
That's the fun part of the business, and that's even a smaller demographic because when we do get them, they're fun. They give us some good shout outs and a little bit of pub. It's not something that we normally push for because honestly, and everybody always says, oh, you should put more celebrities in your social media, but what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of them don't want to be out there just social media out there.
Right.
Dallas is one of those cities that a lot of people don't understand. Money slides in here, spins real well, and slides right out.
Yeah.
Just as quick. It doesn't have to let you see us all out here. And with the amount of our art scene being so strong now, the shopping, of course, with all our different districts is getting ridiculous. The people that are coming in renting from me, they want to drive what they're normally used to driving at home.
Okay.
And that's what makes it easier for us to deal with them. But the celebrity angle, we do cut a nose. Those are fine.
I love that. I think it would be really fun, since Susan has such good insurance, I think that we should do an episode in something fun. We may only be able to afford the Tahoe, but that would be a lot of fun. I do want to go see your space. I would
Love to.
go
Well,
check it out.
like I said, that's Jerry McGuire. So Jerry, she knows she's got love what
Penny,
you're
what
doing.
do you drive?
See, you got to. I'm a country boy by heart, so
He's all Kia
I'm an
Sophia.
overzealous dually driver is what I normally drive.
Okay.
I've driven obnoxious dualies because I grew up in Lubbock, and in Lubbock, you had made it when you got the big dually that was out there on your ranch, just dirtying up the place. Well, I have no ranch here in Dallas, but that was always my thing. That when I got to where I want my first dually, so I bought myself a dually. But I moved out of the dually way, so now I'm still in a truck. But when I want to do ego, then I just pick one from the showroom and
That
go
must be
play.
so nice.
And it's great marketing.
It is. It's incredible marketing.
Because I have no shame in mine. I drive with stickers on every car.
Oh, yeah, I would too, if I were you. I'm going to definitely go check it out. Tell our audience where they can find you on social media.
Our Dallas showroom is over off of 75 and North Central Expressway, right next door to the new Land Rover. We keep all our vehicles on the inside, but at any one of our partner hotels or luxury places, you can always walk right up and book it right there on the car.
That's amazing.
And before we stop, 30 seconds, 5 questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
Rapid
ready?
fire.
Number 1, what item can you not live without? Not including cell phone, computer, some of the obvious.
Golly, country boy, I got to go ahead and say my beer.
Good for you. Okay, number 2, during your limited free time, you like to
Work out. Got to stay in
Awesome.
the gym.
Number 3, if you could meet one person, living or deceased, who would you like to meet?
I'll be honest with you. I'd have to say Jesus.
Oh,
That's a good
That's
one.
a
I
good
got to
one.
ask, what made you just turn the other cheek for that long? I mean,
because when you really want to strangle people.
yes,
that's
and
me.
you have that power. So, yeah,
That's a good one. For vacation, would you rather be on a beach? What was it? On a beach, on a city, country, or mountain?
got to go country.
Okay.
Country boy by
After
heart.
your
I'm from
truck
Amarillo,
talk,
by the
I
way,
was
so
like,
So you
has
know
to be
West
that.
Texas area, exactly.
This one's perfect for you. What car best represents you and why?
I gotta say the Rolls-Royce Dawn.
Oh.
And the reason why the one we've got is black tan interior. It's a masculine, just cocky type of vehicle. But in Dallas, because we are a city of, look at what we've got. If you pull up in a Lamborghini or Ferrari, most likely in valet, there's 3 others. You pull up in a convertible Rolls Royce, you're probably standing at the top.
Yeah.
So I like to be at the top of the ego and not have to worry about sharing that space with anyone else.
Well,
Good
you're in the right
answer.
city. This is a vanity-driven city for sure. So we wish you much continued success.
you.
Go check out everything that they have to offer on his lot, and across the social media, we'll share it on our website and our social media as well. Our time is unfortunately over,
I
Susan.
know, we went over.
So we have to bid you all a wonderful, happy Independence Week, and we will be back here next Monday.
Excellent. See you guys.
right,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
watching.
Take care.
Thank you.